Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and here we are again with the Positively Pipeman segment of the Adventures of Pipeman with our powerful business strategies with our resident expert, Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me, Dean.
I feel like I have the need for speed. Oh, wait, no.
Really? No.
Maybe the speed to lead.
Right. So let me explain that. You know, I was talking with a high-powered sales agency a couple of weeks ago, and they talk about this concept, which makes all the sense in the world to me, called speed to lead. Speed to lead means how fast are you getting back to your leads? And so amazingly, they had all this statistical data on it from their sales efforts. And they found there's a 90% chance, a 90% greater chance of closing a deal, any deal, if you can get back to that lead within 2 minutes of their inquiry. Within 10 minutes of their inquiry, it goes down to about 30 or 40% greater chance. And then after that, it fades off dramatically. So it's really amazing. And the reason is that people forget what they sign up for. People forget what they inquire about. So it actually happened to me a couple of weeks ago where I inquired about a financial program, and they didn't get back to me for like a week. And I said, well, what is this about? What did I do? You know, I had to kind of refresh my memory, and it gets things off to a bad start. And then you actually forget. Here's the other thing. I actually forgot the reason why I made the inquiry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even remember your name half the time if you wait
Right.
even a few days.
Right. That's right. And so it's incredibly important. And like I said, this high-powered sales agency they sell high-ticket items, you know, in the thousands. For events and so forth. They did the analysis on it, and what their data shows, because they make thousands of phone calls a day as an agency, and so with multiple people, and so what their data showed is that if you could get back to that person within 2 minutes, you have a 90% better chance of, not a 90% chance of closing them, a 90% better chance of closing them. It's also pretty impressive. I've tried it where and people are like, "Whoa, I just made the inquiry." You know, they're kind of impressed by the fact that you're following up. And by the way, it shows whatever type of business you're in that you do follow up pretty quickly. So it has a lot of advantages to it, but most of it is top of mind.
Yeah. And I got to tell you that this is one of my favorite things right here, what you're saying, because I talk about it all the time, especially when I'm training salespeople or even what I do for myself, like even with show hosts on our podcast network. I tell them if they have a guest that's a potential sponsor that's on their show, they need to talk to that guest immediately after the show, and let them know ahead of time that you're going to talk immediately after the show, because first of all, that's when your relationship is at its best. Okay.
Right.
Nothing negative has happened yet, for sure. And, you know, again, everything that you said as well, it's like you want it fresh and you want it while they're in a good mood about what they've already done with you. Now, take other industries. You know, it's absolutely true. Even the people that say to call me back, they don't remember who you are when you call them back, because they're saying that to everybody instead of saying no. They think that's easier. It's easier to get the salesperson either out of their business or off the phone, you know, because they know if they say no, you're going to try object and you're not going to leave. But if you say, listen, I'm really interested, but I'm really busy right now, call me back tomorrow. That's a blow off most of the time. If it was important to them, they wouldn't do that. And they probably do that like 20 times a day. So they don't know who you are when you call the next day, or they just don't answer. Most of the time, that's what they do. It's like, then they just ghost you, which to me is totally rude. Like but they think they're not being rude. They think they're being rude by saying no to you. I say it's more rude to stroke you like that. But that being said, that perception of theirs, they think they're doing the right thing, but they really are not interested.
Exactly. And, with respect to getting ghosted, in 2 weeks, I'm going to talk about follow-up strategies, which this sales agency has proven work. But we'll get to that in 2 weeks. But it's the speed to lead is significantly about top of mind, because all the benefits, like in your case with the show, all the benefits of sponsoring are at top of the mind because they just got off the show, So that's really where the advantages are. And for me to make a phone call, that it's top of mind because they just submitted the inquiry.
Yeah, and I'll say too that it is important that it's top of mind, and it's also the thing of circumstances happen in life. So today it could be top of mind and something they really want to do, and in 2 days they could have a car accident and a tax bill and multiple other things that it turns out now it's not top of mind, now it's not a priority, and now they can't even do it.
And what you're calling about is a distraction.
Exactly.
Which is really bad.
And they think like, well, I can't spend any money because I got to do this. But yeah, if they had already made the decision and already spent the money, they would figure another way. They don't need to figure another way if they haven't spent the money yet.
Right. It's amazing how well it works. And I was shocked at the data. I knew it would be better, of course, but I didn't think it would be appreciably better. But it is appreciably better. And the drop off is appreciably negative. The longer you wait. So, and a lot of people are going to say, well, I don't have time right away. That's fine, but you've just reduced your chances of closing.
I'll even add to that when you do accept the blow off, like let's get to, or a second appointment next week. Okay. The fact of the matter is one of the worst things that happens is that you have to start from the beginning. Right. Like you pitched them, you went over everything. They asked their questions, and when you call them that second time, it's like that never happened.
I know. It's really, it's amazing. I know it's amazing, but that's sales.
Yeah,
and that's how it works. And so by increasing your speed to lead, you're going to notice dramatic changes and dramatic improvements.
Well, I definitely feel the need for the speed to lead. And why don't you tell everybody how they reach out to you and check out Next Step CFO and all your powerful business strategies?
Right. So they go to nextstepcfo.net. They could fill out a form and get a free copy of my book called Powerful Business Strategies. I'd love them to take advantage of it. It's free. There are 23 strategies in the book. And one of them we're going to be talking about in about 3 weeks again. One of the major strategies, position of market dominance, and they can learn all about it. And I think it'll be really, really helpful for them. So they can just go to nextstepcfo.net, and you'll see an orange button where you can fill out the form and get a free book.
Well, I love free books, so people better go and get that. Like, how can you lose? It's a free book. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, but you have a lot to gain, though. There's a lot of good stuff in it.
I have to say, too, that, okay, so I was just watching somebody that was a former show host that does something down here in South Florida, and they were talking about how they love public speaking, which you don't really hear people say that.
No.
Like, it's like it's feared more than death, okay?
That's right.
And so I think it's pretty cool that next week, everybody's got to tune into the Adventures of Pipeman, Positively Pipeman, for this powerful business strategy segment, because we're going to talk about the value of public speaking.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.